Greetings. What's up, y'all? This is Cril from Out the Box. I'm back for another review video. Today, I want to talk about the new album from Joell Ortiz, native Brooklyn MC, Slaughterhouse MC. He has an album out today called Autograph. It actually released today. It's on Mello Music Group. And it's a dope project, man. If you are familiar with what Joell Ortiz is capable of doing on the mic, this album definitely exemplifies that. It's actually produced by a number of producers. So the Heat Makers have a number of tracks on here. Apollo Brown has about 2 tracks on here. Namir Blade, Hassami, and Salam Remy also offer contributions as far as production. It's about 13 tracks. The first track is entitled In My Feelings, and it's one of the singles that was released a couple of weeks ago. He talks about his experiences from being signed to Aftermath Records with Dr. Dre to, running with Slaughterhouse and more. So it's sort of like a detailing of his history in the music industry. So it's a cool way, I think, to introduce the album and open the album. He has another track called Uncle Chris Carr, which is also produced by the Heat Makers. And I really, really like this track because it's sort of like a story form track where he's talking about his upbringing from his earliest birth in the hospital to coming up in the projects in the hood and, dealing with the ghetto surroundings, right? And the other thing that's cool about that track is he says a pretty clever closing line. So definitely go listen to that song all the way through when you get a chance. So yeah, that's Uncle Chris Carr. Also, Housing Authority, which is produced by Hassami, actually features King Crooked on there. And it's just raw lyrical bars on there, man. The One Day track is one of my favorite tracks. It's produced by Apollo Brown, where he talks about his journey to be recognized as a dope MC in the industry, from wanting to get radio airplay to earning a guest spot on DJ Stretch Armstrong's show on Hot 97 and him rhyming at, as a teenager. So that's a dope track. I just love the soulful vibe of it. And as you know, Apollo Brown is one of my favorite producers. So when he puts it in, he gets it in, as far as like his production, the very soulful production. You hear his signature sound. So big ups to Apollo Brown. And like I said, there's some other, production heat on here as well. So the other track that I really liked too was Masked Up. And that's really just an onslaught of bars. If you're looking for like dope punchlines, I think this track really exemplifies that. He has a few very cool quotables. He says, "That money just kept coming like multiple orgasms. Labels ain't give me a home. It's crazy. I had a household name. Kept it pushing like a whack barber." And a number of others on that track. If you're into bars and punchlines and just dope lines, that track really shines. Maxed Up. And again, it's produced by the Heat Makers. The Salam Remy track actually sounds like a Salam Remy track. It's called Sincerely Yours. So it's kind of slowed down a bit, but still very soulful. He has a cool line on there where he said where he talks about underground checks being good despite, what you think mainstream artists get in terms of their clout. Like just, dispelling that myth that, just because you're in the underground, you can't make good money. So he kind of references that on that track. The track OG, produced by Hassami, is also really dope. It's kind of him reminiscing on his past journeys and realizing how far he's come. Now kind of, seeing himself as kind of in that OG status. But he's also like giving salute to other OGs that have made it to that, that level. The track Lifeline, also produced by the Heat Makers, features a vocalist named Juliet. And it's really like a dedication to his wife. So that's like the relationship record. Going Through It by Heat Makers, that's more of an emotional track. But what's interesting about that track is he actually does the emotion by telling a story, right? And there's these two characters. There's a female character in the first verse, and in the next verse there's a male character. And it's really all about like the social media era that we live in, where a lot of people are hiding their true pain inside, but showing like a made it or got it together image on the surface. So that song really tackles that subject really deeply. So there, that track is going through it by the Heatmakers. He also has a track featuring Sci-Hi the Prince called Holy Ghost, another dope track. And that one is actually produced by Namir Blade. What's dope about that track too is it has about 3 change-ups, and they're all dope. So it takes a little time to start up, but then they have change-ups they have like a change-up for Joel's verse and then a change-up for Sci-Hi's verse. Also Therapeutic, the other track produced by Apollo Brown, really dope track as well. You find Joell kind of reflecting on the idea that music is therapeutic for him. Then we have the last 2 tracks, Love is Love, featuring Chic Luch, produced by Heatmakers, and Doors Up, featuring Pastor LBS, produced by Heatmakers. So this album is dope, man. Like, I don't know that it's his best album, but it's a solid effort. And if you are someone who appreciates lyrics, like, you'll really appreciate this album, because you know he always does his thing lyrically. So big ups to Joell Ortiz. The new album is out, Autograph. It's on Bandcamp. It's on digital streaming platforms. Go check that out. Solid 13 tracks. You know, support it if you like it. All right. Talk to y'all for the next video. Peace. Take care.